come here to hold some hand and arms and toes and ties. Oh man, we got white coat tonight, y'all. Yes, I. Come and hold your head up high, while your waist, girl, touch the sky. Shake your body, girl, touch the ground. Up and down and all around. Hold your head and hold your ears and hold your nose and hold your mouth and hold your neck and hold your shoulders, hold your chest and touch the rest and shake it up, shake it up. I shake it up, shake it up. I shake it up, shake it up. Shake it up, shake it up. Shake it up, shake it up. I shake it up, shake it up. Shake your body line, yeah. Come along and touch your toes. Come and show me just how it goes. Touch your knees and touch your waist. Touch yourself all around the place. Hold your head and hold your ears and hold your nose and hold your mouth and hold your neck and hold your shoulders, hold your chest and show me the rest and shake it up, 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 shake your body line, yeah, come on. Hold your head and hold your ears and hold your nose and hold your mouth and hold your neck and hold your shoulders, hold your chest and show me the rest and shake it up, 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 shake it up. Shake your body line. Come on now, let me see you do this. Watch it. Touch your toes and touch your ankle and touch your shank and touch your knees and touch your thighs and touch your waist and grab your bottom and while you're bonging, shake it up, 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 shake it up. Shake it up, shake it up, shake your body line. Hold your head and hold your ears and hold your nose and hold your mouth and hold your neck and hold your shoulders, hold your chest and show me the rest and shake it up, 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 shake it up. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake your body line. I love the way y'all do it, girls. Y'all look so great up there shaking it up. Y'all don't get tired. Man, I see some of the fellas that stop and go on the dance floor. Y'all girls just insist on shaking it up, man. Don't stop. Let me see y'all, man. Come on, do this. Shake it up, 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 shake it up. Shake it up, 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 shake your body line, yeah. Shake it up, shake it up, yeah. Shake it up, 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 shake your body line, yeah. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up.
Can I count it off? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Lift me with the rhythm. Give me. Marcy, she won't go out to the dance tonight. To a jam they haven't forced me down in the bite. She granny and she make sure that she mop up the floor. Don't even think but setting your foot outside my door. Wash them dirty dishes and scrub the bucket out. Marcy act like she can't hear, she turn up she mouth. Then she put on she clothes and jump out the windowsill. All I see was Marcy heading up the hill, shouting, "Come lick me with the rhythm till I cannot." shake my stuff. Come on and lick me with the rhythm till I fall out on the floor. Come on and lick me with the rhythm till I cannot take no more. She's saying, lick me, lick me. Lick me, lick me. Lick me, lick me. Lick me, lick me. When she hit the dirty cat and say, hold on, wait a while. You dressing look like ass. She say, yeah, you're right, this one is style. And where you get that outfit, y'all, that thing is mighty tight. Even blind Mr. Bean right in bikini sight. The boys them start to dribble when they see how she dressed, how she wearing mini and she jingling she chest. Marcy start to whine like a Bahamian hurricane. Then she start to screaming like she was insane. Saying, come lick me rhythm till I cannot get enough. Come on and lick me rhythm so that I can shake my stuff. Come on and lick me rhythm till I fall out on the floor. DJ, come lick me rhythm till I cannot take no more. Come on and lick me, lick me. Lick me, lick me. Lick me, lick me.
This is 99.5 Global FM. You're no-
of this radio station.
Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. And welcome to the GPS Global Program Shift on Global 99.5 FM. There we go. Good afternoon to you all, and thank you for tuning in on this Masterclass Monday. Michelle Malcolm in your company of this warm, what else new, Monday afternoon. We are once again coming to you with Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on what we call our Masterclass Mondays, where we look at the Constitution of the Bahamas to educate you of your rights and responsibilities contained therein. Before we get Professor back into the studio, though, I want to throw the telephone numbers and ways by which you can engage in the conversation today. So if you want to call or comment, or if you have a question for the professor, here's how you do it. The telephone numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line is 801-0271, 801-0271. You can both call and send us a message via WhatsApp. We're streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. You can also catch us at Global Bahamas channel 974, and you can download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device. Check us out there. Huge welcome to everybody listening by way of radio, whether you are in New Providence or Grand or from anywhere else in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Shout out to our family islanders. So welcome to everybody throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And of course, welcome to all of you from around the world. Because it's not just here in the Bahamas, but we have listeners from all throughout the United States, some parts of Europe tuned in. Even now and again, I have my friends in Africa. So a huge welcome to everyone. So it's just a huge welcome to everyone. The next 2 hours with us here. Spend the next 2 hours with us here. So around these parts every Monday. Professor Sidney Walter Thompson, who is a professor, constitutional lawyer, studied the Constitution of the Bahamas at great length, and has been waiting, as he always says, for 50 long years for the people of the Bahamas to wake up and decide to explore their rights as laid out in the Constitution of the Bahamas, and the Lord allowed them to live long enough to see it. And so he says that he's found that everywhere he goes, people start saying, "Oh, use the Constitution, man." And asking him questions about the Constitution, and this is a good thing. This is a very good thing. So, Professor, welcome back.
Well, thank you, Malcolm. And it is true what you just said. You know, when the Queen died, that was when people began to wake up to their constitutional rights. And from that point onward up to now, it has been a loud cry by the Bahamian people. I'm so excited, because I did have to wait 50 years for the Bahamian people to wake up, because they were not listening to my voice at that particular time. I don't blame them for that, because the vast majority of Bahamians do not know the Constitution. I have people on all the talk shows talking about change. Never, ever once, any call, or any hope, or any guest on any show mentioned the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. How are you going to build a nation without a solid foundation? You have a lot of ideas, which Constitution that you can have. I'm not going to knock you for that.
Right.
But when it comes to building a nation, what is the basis on which you're going to stand? And having studied constitutional law very deeply, I know better than most people. So I would listen intently everywhere I go. My sister is only away.
Oh, wow.
And because the people that crowd me all the time.
They ask you for your autograph.
And I am delighted that they are asking questions.
Yes.
And I like to answer constitutional questions. I will give you a constitutional answer. Constitutional questions are not easy to answer, because the way how you may ask me a question, I may have to go back and look at the Constitution again to see how it fits in. It's how you ask the question. Now, a lot of things I know automatically. I can tell you right off the top when you asked me the other question the other day on the show. I was able to answer that quite correctly because it's constitutional.
Okay.
Anything that is not constitutional, it is not sound. That's why the country is all mixed up, because people do not know their constitutional rights, their constitutional freedoms and privileges. Now, they espouse a lot of ideas, and you have that every single day. What is it based on? One thing, are you organizing yourselves? Article 24.1. One gentleman just finally admitted, after hearing me say that for so many years, he said, Professor was right all along. I am not going to mislead the Bahamian people, because I know better that they are being misled over and repeatedly every single day on radio and other media out there.
giving misinformation on the Constitution. They don't know what the Constitution says. Why don't you tell the people the truth you don't know? See, if you ask me a constitutional question and I don't know the answer, I'll tell you. Professor doesn't know the answer to that. He has to go and check it out. Now, when I say it publicly on air, I don't back down for no one. You will have to show me from the Constitution, Professor, you're wrong. And not a living soul has been able to do that over the last 50 years.
Well, I guess they're about to start now, right?
Well, let them bring it on.
Now, you've been calling for people to organize themselves. I see big protests going down on downtown today.
Yeah.
Calling for the resignation of Bell, Minister Keith Bell, with regard to this whole situation of his performance as the leader of the immigration department, or should I say the minister with responsibility for immigration. Is that the kind of lobbying that you're calling for Bahamian people to do? Or does it go deeper than that?
I am so delighted you asked me that question. We have seen from the evidence that kind of demonstration is not working.
Okay.
Now, when something is not working, you have to ask yourself why it's not working. Okay? You have to ask yourself, what is it that you want? You have to ask the Bahamian people. Before I do anything from a community point of view or constituent point of view, a nationwide point of view, I will ask the people. That's what you do. Article 24.1 says, yes, the people are to protect their interests. Do you have an interest to protect? But just getting a couple of people going down Bay Street, making a bunch of noise, not effective. It has never been effective. We have seen the evidence of that. Why continue working with something you know is not effective? You have to create, and there are so many creative ways. If you know your Constitution, there are creative and effective ways to deal with a government that is stubborn, that is hard-headed, to deal with a representative that is stubborn, that is hard-headed. Why are you making that such a burden on yourself when the Constitution is right there to guide you? But because you lack wisdom and understanding, you don't know the document, they know you don't know it, so therefore they could carry you around the mulberry bush. But you can't do that to Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson. That can't happen. Now, how many out there know their Constitution to the point where that they could confront the government of the Bahamas, they could confront their representative and say, you're wrong, you're dead wrong, and could prove it? And if they don't want to do anything about it, you say, no problem. We give you a limited period of time to change. If you don't want to change, that's not a problem either. You just ain't gonna be there no more. And that individual may be moved from there quicker than they could wink their eye. There are effective ways of dealing with stubborn, rebellious persons who have been given authority in this country to run our national affairs. We just not have taken up the challenge.
And going downtown or anywhere else with placards and marching up and down, that's not the effective way you're saying.
It has been proven for years. It is not working. So why are you doing it? Are the people interested in that? Well, if the people are not interested in that, why are you doing it?
If you look at the sheer numbers, it doesn't seem so. I mean, you know,
Well, it does not just seem so. It is so. It doesn't make any sense going down Bay Street with some placards. You got 25 people.
Especially in all this doggone heat.
Now, if you call them out in the heat, you need 50,000. 50,000 and up.
But
then you're saying something.
But Professor, we did see a little bit of success with the We March. Remember that?
Yes, that
all
is
them
correct.
people showed up.
Yeah. There were a couple thousand.
Right.
How long did it last?
Well,
and it became political.
That's the problem right there.
Right. I'm glad you mentioned it. Now, what happened outtown, I heard from the news, and I think the report is accurate. They said PLP and the FNM were there, probably out in their party colors. Now, here's another problem. The particular personality they asked to resign is a member of the House of Assembly. There's a vast difference between his authority as a member of the House of Assembly as a minister to government and as a member of a political organization. We just can't seem to get this thing straight.
Okay.
That's our problem as a people.
So what are you suggesting? Are you suggesting that he should be made to step down, if at all, as a cabinet minister, but not necessarily as the member of parliament? Is that what you're suggesting?
There is hardcore evidence to show that Mr. Keith Bell has violated the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Bahamas.
Okay.
See, I want to deal with that.
Okay.
Okay?
Mhm.
That's what's important. The supreme law of the land has been violated by this particular personality. Even it is said the director of immigration said that the man was interfering with the work of the officers in that department.
Well, somebody sent me a copy of that letter, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, that's circulating. I do have a copy of it.
Good, okay.
So go ahead, finish your point.
And the thing is that the minister is not supposed to be interfering with persons in the civil service who are responsible for doing their job. The minister has a job, the director has a job, the others have their job. But you have political interference.
Mm-hmm.
They should have ignored him. They have power in their hand to ignore him and let him, we ain't listening to you.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing what you say. And he couldn't do nothing about it. See, I always say that people fail to realize the power they have in their hand.
Mm-hmm.
They don't use it. Oh, the minister say they must go. They wasn't going nowhere. I would have locked them up. I would ignore him. I would not listen to him. I will have nothing to do with him. I am doing my job as an immigration officer.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to interfere with that. You defy him. Why are you going along with the crap?
And you know it's wrong.
And you know it's wrong. Well, I've already called him out already. I tell him he's man, come.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't come yet. All I am saying, I know that he's not constitutionally sound. I don't have to guess that. When you violate the Constitution to the way he did, that's cause for concern. A government is to operate according to the Constitution. When a government doesn't operate according to the Constitution, you're asking for trouble. Big trouble.
But you know, Professor, you want to something, because let me tell you why I say that. Back in the day when I was a little younger, and things was a little tighter.
Yes, ma'am.
When you get my age, things is, gravity has been working against me now for,
right.
3 score.
Jasmine.
But anyhow, before gravity had an opportunity to work its, I had a lot of fellas,
yes.
particularly in the political arena,
yes,
who was throwing the line.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? On both sides of the political divide.
Yes.
PLP and FNM, it didn't matter. And this one particular parliamentary secretary threw his line. And I said I wasn't interested.
Yes.
And he decided that he was going to threaten me and tell me that if I didn't oblige to his advances, he would have my job.
Okay.
I was a young reporter.
Yes.
I hadn't been on the job very, very long.
Uh-huh.
But this man actually threatened me.
Yes, ma'am.
And said to me, do you know who I am?
Doesn't matter.
And you dare reject my advances? Don't you know I can have your job?
Wow.
But you see, he didn't realize that even though I was young and even though I was a, little neophyte reporter, I was biggity from then.
Good.
So I went back to the corporation. Kelsey Johnson was the general manager at the time. And I called his secretary and I said, I'd like to see the general manager, please. She said, sure, come up. I went up to his office and I said, this particular public servant, does he have anything to do with the running of ZNS? This is a completely different ministry.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Johnson said, no, nothing at all. I said, well,
he just threw a line at me. He made an advance at me. And I rejected his advances. And he said to me that, don't I know who he is? He can have my job.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Johnson laughed. Mr. Johnson said, Miss Malcolm, go back to work. Here, a man can't do you nothing. I don't know who got to him, but somebody approached that man about that incident.
Yes.
Now, you see, not everybody was bigoted like me.
Yes, ma'am. That's true.
So I know that there were instances where politicians, especially powerful politicians,
yes,
would throw their line at these young reporters, and
that's correct.
And because they were so scared to stand up to them, they would either oblige or consider another profession.
Yes.
My attitude was this: if you bold enough to approach me in that manner and you know what you're doing is wrong, I go in public.
Good.
Deny it. But if you can't say nothing, don't fool with me, because I biggity. I'm not going to allow you to put me in any kind of strange position because I scared of it. No. You're going to have to answer to your superior as to why you approaching this woman. I can talk.
Right.
You understand?
That's correct.
So you have a point. If they know what and I'm not saying that the minister should have did what he did, allegedly. But if I'm sitting in that position as a civil servant, and I know what you're telling me to do is wrong,
I'm budging.
And I want you to try fire me, because then I go in public.
Yes.
And I can produce evidence as to why you're trying to fire me. And then you got another problem on your hand.
Big problem.
You understand?
Yes.
But our people, in many ways, are such cowards. And this is why these people have been getting away with the foolishness they get away with for so long.
For more than half a century.
Because we don't want to stand up to them.
Exactly. And I am saying to the Bahamian people, the Constitution has always been there to protect your interests. That's more powerful than the government. Governments come and governments go. Mm-hmm. Administrations come and administrations go. Mm-hmm. But the Constitution remains.
Right.
And I defy anybody to show me where I am wrong, and I will call them out publicly, just like I call out the minister. You think you's man? Come. I will challenge him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know he's wrong.
And he can't say nothing if you do challenge him.
Exactly. And he ain't gonna say nothing
no,
either.
He can't say nothing.
Exactly. So I'm saying to you, we have got to get to the point where we say, Mr. Prime Minister, you're dead wrong. And here's why you're wrong. Mr. Representative for the constituency, you are dead wrong. Here's why you're wrong. You also give them right if they're right.
Mm-hmm.
You do that.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to kowtow to them. They are mere mortal human beings. They have a responsibility to respect the office they're in. I don't have a problem with that. But when you can talk crap and do foolishness and nonsense, I can call you out publicly. And I will challenge them. If you think you's man, you think you's woman, come. That's the way you have to deal with the government of the Bahamas, who's been allowed to get away with all kind of foolishness for more than 50 years. Article 6 of our Constitution is clear, hardcore proof. One line, which is an entire article in the Constitution. They ain't get it straight yet for more than half a century. They ain't get it straight. But look at the damage it has done to the fathers, the single fathers. The single fathers are not organized to fight it. What are they waiting on? You can stay in the dark?
Mm.
The Privy Council has already established and confirmed The Constitution is always right. So what are you waiting for now? The children have suffered. The mothers of the children have suffered. Who's going to pay for all this damage? And how many people are involved? How many people have been affected? We don't know yet.
50
but I will
long
inquire.
years.
50
long
years. But I will be inquiring. And if they talk foolishness in my ears, I'll come right back here on radio and identify who the suckers are.
Oh, no. Well. We got to take a break. Yeah. Professor Sayubad, come.
I challenge him and tell him, come.
It's got to have a hard mode, Professor.
But listen.
Because the hard mode is take plenty nerve.
But the point is, I know that I'm right according to the Constitution. You ain't getting me to back down because of who you say you are. Because I ain't checking for you.
You might be able to fight, but they ain't or not.
But that's all right. I want the first one to cross me. Let the first one cross me, and they will be guinea pig for all those who will be before them.
They can learn today.
That's right.
All right. We got to take a break, y'all. We'll be back after these words of our sponsors. Stay with us.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin, mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. And we are back. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company on this warm Monday afternoon. Please stay hydrated, people. Cucumber water works wonders in terms of keeping you hydrated. So today's the Masterclass Monday. We're talking about the Constitution of the Bahamas, your rights and responsibilities as contained therein. And of course, our guest of honor every Monday is the professor, Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson. Before we bring him back into the picture, let's tell you how you can join in on the conversation. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM Facebook pages, as well as our official YouTube channels. And we're also on Channel Cable Bahamas, Channel 974. You can call or text us at 801-0271, 801-0271. That is WhatsApp. And you can either call or text us on that number. And also you can download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and check us out there. And we're streaming live also on Cable Bahamas, Channel 974. And of course, we're on radio. So a huge welcome to all of you who are listening by way of radio, whether it's here in New Providence, whether it's Grand Bahama, whether it's the Family Islands, whether it's anywhere in the world that you are listening or watching or tuned in. Thank you so much for making GPS a part of your afternoon. Professor Sidney MacArthur Thompson, Walter Thompson, is back at the desk, and we're talking about the rights and responsibilities of we, the people of the Bahamas, as it relates to our Constitution. And prior to the break, Professor Thompson made it very clear that these protests that we've been doing about various subjects and civic matters and, different things that don't seem to be effective. And he's saying that there is a better way to do this. He's often called for Bahamians to come together and use their collective power to affect the change that they want to see. But he's saying that by going anywhere with your placard and making noise is not the kind of collective power he's been advocating. So explain better for us
Yes,
what you're talking about.
I'm glad you asked that, because what they're doing now, that has never worked from day one. So the organizers need to ask the people themselves, what is it that you want to do?
Right.
That's the first thing you do. Now, here's what I say to people in every constituency. Get to know the person living next door to you. Get to know the people living on your street. Don't get personal with them. Now, I know in a lot of these areas, people are extremely personal in people's personal private affairs. I've known husbands and wives for more than half a century. I didn't know they were married until the two of them, or one of them told me at some point down the road that they were. I said, well, I didn't know nothing.
Right.
The two of them laugh at me. But I don't get into people's private, personal affairs. In my area where I live, I get on well with all of those people. But you're going to find in some of these communities, people get very personal and all kind of dirty things are said when they get vexed with someone. All kind of nasty things are being said. And so all that does is create a lot of confusion. It builds mistrust. You can get to know the people on the street where you live without getting personal. That's the first step. And then tell them to get to know one another on the street. Then go around the corner from where you live and talk to the people there and get to know them on a personal basis. And then you tell those people around the corner, come and talk to people around your corner. And the people around your corner go and talk to people around that corner. In other words, what you need to do is the people in the constituency, so I can take this according to how the Constitution set it up. The people in the constituency have to be on one accord.
Okay.
That's not so. Now, you can belong to different organizations. I always use in Barnabas Church in my example, and BTC. But when you go to BTC, you don't be singing a tune in BTC. I go to St. Barnabas Church. Nobody wants to hear that. That's not important to them. When you get to BTC, you do BTC job. What is wrong with us in a given constituency that we cannot see that we have major constituency problems
that transcend politics?
Right? Why then is it that we're not looking objectively at issues that have been affecting us for years and we've not gotten any results? Because we're so politically polarized. We say, I'm a part of this party, I'm a part of that party, I ain't one with no party.
How do we get over that, though? I have a comment from Bertha on Facebook that says, waiting for Bahamians to come together ain't gonna happen either. Too much F&M and PLP polarization is still the game.
No, but we can overcome it. You see, when you look at things from a negative point of view, you never solve anything.
Right.
To me, that ain't no problem. That's a non-problem for me as a citizen of this country. You have to learn how to get on with people who have different points of view from you. I let people talk all the time when they talk about the Constitution. I know some of them be talking a lot of nonsense, but you have to listen to them because the Constitution says they have a right to express a view. You do not take that away from them. But now when it comes to dealing with the facts of the Constitution, what is constitutionally sound, that's a whole horse of a different color. Now, see, many of them can't fit in there. 99+% of them can't fit into that. So you have to help them. You help them in areas where they are weakest. One area is organizational structure on the ground, on the constituency, where people are coming together to deal with issues that affect all of them. But that's not happening. And so we keep suffering. We can overcome that. You could go to your political party. I'm not getting into that. In fact, I don't discuss that with nobody. You say that's what you are. That's your business. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in, can we come together on the ground, some 5,000, you got some 5,000 plus constituents and more in a given community. What's wrong with them? Cannot have the wisdom. You mean to tell me we're that stupid? We don't have enough wisdom. We don't have enough. And a lot of these people in these communities are talented people, educated people. They need strong community leadership on the ground. You see, I had to tell them, if you ain't sure, you call me. I'll help you with that.
But you know, it's amazing, Professor. In some areas, you see that kind of cooperation and collaboration. Like, for instance, you have some areas that have the community watch, crime watch, where they have a whole committee that's been formed. And they appoint people and on each corner or whatever, and they look out for their neighbors. And if they see anything unusual or suspicious happening, they call the neighbor, they call the police. And so they found a way to cooperate when it comes to that. So what you're saying is that they should look to identify other issues that are concerned to the community.
Exactly.
Put your political colors down to the side when it comes to that particular issue. Work together as a cohesive unit to solve that particular issue. And if you're a member of parliament that has been elected to represent your concerns in the House of Assembly doesn't seem to be doing a good enough job, you approach them as a collective unit to say, listen, these are the concerns of this community. It ain't got nothing to do with how we voted. It ain't got nothing to do with color you come here with. Because these concerns are affecting all of us. Crime is affecting the entire community.
Oh, that's terrible.
The criminal don't say, well, I ain't going in this house because that's a PLP. Or F&M house. They break into everybody's house, right?
Exactly.
It don't matter who you vote for. They don't care. So we have demonstrated that we can do this.
Of course.
We've demonstrated that we can do this on matters that are important enough for us to put our political differences aside and get it done. So why is there this hesitation to do that across the board?
That is a good question that you ask. And because people, see, again, people fail to realize the power they have in their hand. The Constitution says to us, you work through your representative in your given constituency. That's constitutional.
Right.
So why are you arguing with that? Well, then let's do that. Let's bring it collectively to that particular representative. But there are those who are so politically polarized. They don't see that. They will try to take up for the representative, even though the representative is wrong. But see, I have to tell the representative, you're dead wrong. And I could prove it constitutionally that he's dead wrong. But the people, see, this is where the collective will of a people come to play. Not just one person, not just two people, because some things you need numerical strength to get it resolved. There's no other way. That's constitutional way. Why are we backing away from that? It didn't say you must be this thing or that thing. You are all constituents in a given constituency. That's the language of the Constitution. You can either be a registered constituent or you could be an unregistered constituent. That's also in the Constitution. Because people don't know these basic fundamental things. They're confused.
I have a question for you, Professor, because having had the opportunity to live for a couple of years on a family island,
yes,
where local government was obviously very alive and well, you got to see that in action because you have a local government council on these family islands, and they take that very, very seriously. And so the local government would represent the views of the people. Like, for instance, when I was there, I was working for a particular resort.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, one of my job responsibilities was to go before the local government council every month and advise them of what was happening at that resort,
right,
and how, what programs we had in place to benefit the community, and find out if there were any concerns that the community had through the local government, or whether the local government council wanted us to assist the community. And that was a part of my job.
Yes.
I used to have to go and account to them every single month as to what was happening at that resort, and find out from them what the needs were of the community, and then take that back to my bosses and say, well, the people of Bimini, through their local government council, have said that these are their needs. Is there anything that we can do to assist?
Exactly.
That was a part of my job.
Yes.
That is alive and well in the family island setting. But here in New Providence, local government is non-existent for all intents and purposes. So, whereas that is clearly defined in smaller family island communities, it is less so here in New Providence.
Is it constitutional? And I'm going to ask this question. I want the people to think about it. Is it constitutional to have local government for a minority of the people in a country, and the vast majority of people left out in the cold?
Got to rely on central government.
Sound?
I would think not. I would think not.
Okay, all right. So these are the things what we have not been looking at. We allow the government of the Bahamas to make very bad decisions which adversely affect the majority of the Bahamian people, and we sit back and allow the crap to run on for 50 years. So what are you trying to do? You're trying to tell me the people in Rumkey could run their affairs better than the people in Vaudeville Castle? What kind of nonsense is that? But we did nothing about it. And they were beating themselves on the chest and carrying on and saying what they were doing and this and that. And the majority of your people do not have this local government system. Well, of course, there's some who are complaining about it now that it ain't working in some areas. But all I'm simply saying is the Constitution allows you to work through your representative. I have nothing against local government, but it ought to be established in your Constitution. It's not there. So they could come in it tomorrow and decide I can give it to this one, I can give it to that one, because that's what has happened. The vast majority of the people have been left out. We did nothing to challenge the government of the Bahamas on this issue. How could we as a nation sit back and allow that crap to run on? Nobody questions it. See, these are the things we need to start thinking about. You have to protect your interests. Do not leave it up to the representative in your constituency. Do not leave it up to the government. Do not leave it up to any agency of the government. The people have to put pressure in the right places to protect their interests. That's not happening. And so I put that question out there and let the Bahamian people think about it. Because I know it's not constitutionally sound. I could say that right off the top. It can't be. How could you put the majority of your people, push them on the outside, and say we can do this for the minority? What kind of crap is that? But it has happened for years and years and years. It's been going on, and nothing has been about it.
Yeah,
That's wrong.
It is kind of crazy. And quite frankly, a lot of the challenges that we're facing are challenges that could be addressed at the local government level had there been an effective system in place.
Yes.
Why we got to wait for a government agency to pave roads in our area? Why? Even if we say, and a call I come to you right now, even if we say, okay, we know that our area is full of potholes. We, as a local government system, have determined that this needs to be addressed. So now we take this to our representative to say, make representation for the central government to deal with this, as opposed to it coming from the other end.
Right.
We waiting for central government to decide that they're going to look upon us with favor and fix our road when they feel like fixing it. And they clearly ain't jacking.
No, they ain't jacking.
We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good day, God bless, Michelle. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good, thank God for life. And good afternoon, Professor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir, and good afternoon to the Bahamas. You know, I listened almost from the very beginning today, and I didn't catch the entire, everything y'all was saying. So I didn't catch the gist of the show, but I heard, other than, of course, you talking about the constitutional rights, but I heard Sidney Thompson making reference to the government is wrong, the government is wrong, the government is wrong, but I don't understand what it is the government is around about. Did the government do something or say something lately that you're pointing out the wrong there too?
Let me say this to you right now. The government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas has violated the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Article 6, for more than 50 years.
Okay.
You understand what that means?
No, sir, because I don't know what Article 6 says.
Okay, you see, that's the problem. And I'm not knocking you, caller, for the question. All I'm simply saying is we have allowed the government of the Bahamas to run roughshod over us. We have a local government system that has been given to the minority of the people. We did nothing about that. We allowed the government to just get away with it. And the vast majority of the people don't have a local government system.
Well, central government does not want local government in Nassau.
So clearly.
That's obvious. But before I continue on that point, though, Sidney, would you be so kind as to read Article 6 since you're making reference to it?
Ms. Malcolm.
We have to pull it up.
You have to pull it up.
Okay.
I don't have
you see, because I'm lost. Michelle, as he's making reference, because I honestly don't know what it says.
Okay, that's understandable.
Yeah, but what I'm concerned about is, and I mean, we have to look at history in order to understand the present so we can make corrections for the future.
Yes, okay.
Politicians were masterful in the first 25 years of our country by talking to the people, which was not bad at face value, but they were talking to the people without educating the people about their constitutional rights. And Sidney, while many of us ought to take our individual time and go and learn what the Constitution of the Bahamas is and is all about. When you have the masses deprived of that knowledge by virtue of the fact that the document was not put in the educational system, the many Bahamians who went through the schools in the past 50 years and don't know the Constitution, you really can't blame. You cannot really truly blame the masses, because at the end of the day, if the masses aren't given opportunity to the information, how can they really and truly understand what it is they have and what it is their rights? Because here and now, and let me use myself as a perfect example. I'm a person who's blind. You put that document in front of me, I ain't got a clue what that document is, because literally I can't read it.
Yeah.
And I may or may not have anybody around to read it to me. So for me, that's nothing but a book sitting down. So to put that in the school system, in the wider community, a lot of Bahamians may want to know. Instinctively, they may have a feeling in their heart that something is wrong, all right. But the knowledge was kept away from them. The Constitution was only a distant terminology for so many people, because it was never taught to them in our schools, and it should have been. It was never taught in the wider community, in community events and affairs, which in my view it ought to have been. So a lot of people are just simply, sadly and unfortunately, clueless about what our rights and responsibilities are as citizens because of not knowing the document. So now that you're doing what you're doing with Michelle, more of us are becoming more and more educated, but you're still having the masses going ignorant because it's still not in the school system. So I'll kindly wait for you to read that Article 6 for me.
Sure. Now, Professor, thanks for calling, JT.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Is that the article that you're talking about that deals with
Single father.
of...
Single father, Article 6.
I don't think that's what he mentioned. No, I think he was referring more so about, you're talking about the rights to come together and assemble.
Oh, that's 24.1.
Right,
I've
right.
said that many times.
Okay, so 24.1. That's
read
what
the last part of that article. That's where that is situated.
Okay.
Because you have so many other things in 24.1, and I've explained this to him before.
Right.
But reading the entire article is not the issue. You concentrate on that section of the article which specifically deals with the issue that he is talking about. And that's what I do every time when I come on air. Okay, but if he wants you say he wants.
But he wasn't specifically talking about the issue with the fathers and the children. He was asking, because you remember he tuned in late, and he was saying that.
Well, he wanted to know. I said the government of the Bahamas has violated the Constitution. He wanted to know. I use Article 6 as an example.
Okay.
You could read to him Article 6, which is one line, which the government of the country has messed up for more than 50 years.
Right. Okay, I can do that, but I was under the assumption that he was asking more so about, because we're talking about, remember now, he tuned in a bit late, so
Yes,
he's saying, what is it that you're saying we as a people can do to come together to cause for our members of parliament or representatives to represent our concerns based on a constitutional standpoint? That's the impression that I got that he was asking for.
Well, he could probably clarify it. But the point is, from what I got from him was that he wanted to know what the government has done in violating of the Constitution. I quoted Article 6, which they have violated for more than half a century. That's a fact of life. Okay. It had to go all the way to the Privy Council.
JT, you might want to call back to clarify.
Yeah,
I think he pretty much asked that because he tuned in late. He tuned in late.
Yeah, he did. But if he's referring to 24.1,
I think he's referring to 24. But hopefully he'll call back to clarify.
He would clarify.
Yeah,
but I know they have violated Article 6.
Right.
And they have violated some other articles in the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I just use Article 6 as an example.
Just one example of the violation.
One out of many.
Okay.
One out of many. Yeah.
All right. Tell you what. That's not a caller, right, for the show. Waiting for my producer to respond. Is that a call for the show? Okay, JT's back on the line. JT, go ahead.
You could explain, yeah.
Yes. both of you are correct, but when Sidney kept making reference to Article 6 that the government was wrong in dealing with, I was lost because I don't know what Article 6 says. So I would love for him to read that for the audience to understand what it is the government was wrong in respect to that article. And then, yes, the end of Article 24, to re-emphasize that for we, the listening audience, so we can get the full text of what you guys are talking about, government and its violation or the lack of representation, local government, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'd appreciate it.
All right. So Article 6 deals with persons born in the Bahamas after 9th July 1973. It simply says every person born in the Bahamas after 9th July 1973 shall become a citizen of the Bahamas at the date of his birth, if at that date either of his parents is a citizen of the Bahamas. Straightforward.
That's a complete article.
Yes.
And the government has messed upon that for 50 years.
Yeah, and that is what
main sentence.
What the Privy Council, right. And that's what the Privy Council
the
ruled.
Privy Council tell them follow the law. That's
right.
all they told them. Didn't change anything. There was no need to change nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The law is clear in the Constitution, but the government of Bahamas has failed to obey the law.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 24.1.
24.1, yeah.
Which deals with protection of freedom of assembly and association. Except with his consent, no person shall be hindered in the enjoyment of his freedom of peaceful assembly and association, that is to say, his right to assemble freely and associate with other persons, and in particular to form or belong to political parties, or to form or belong to trade unions or other associations for the protection of his interests.
Now, stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the entire one, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the purpose to form or belong to.
Well, that's 24.1.
24.1, yes.
Uh-huh.
That's see, the last phrase is what I concentrate on, which I think the callers need to understand. The other things are fine. For the protection of his interest. Do you have any interest to protect? Because we've allowed a lot of crap to go on for 50 years. That is saying we have no interest to protect. Is that what I'm understanding? I don't think so. I just believe that we didn't know. And I accept the fact the Bahamian people didn't know. I'm vexed with them for that. I waited 50 years for them to wake up. So I'm saying now that the Bahamian people have awakened up. That's a wonderful thing. But we can't go backward now. We got to go forward. We're going to have to put pressure on the government of the Bahamas, on the parliamentarians who are in the House of Assembly, and also those senators too, to get it right. And if they don't do it, there's a remedy in your Constitution to deal with a stubborn government, to deal with a stubborn parliamentarian, to deal with a stubborn senator, according to your Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
See, the problem is, I hear a lot of people talking about they want to see change. What is the change going to be based on? Not a single word they talk about the Constitution. They refer to no Constitution. So what are you going to base it on? The Constitution is your supreme law. And you have people arguing every single day. They want to see this, they want to see that. What is it based on? If you don't base it on the Constitution, you're wasting your time. You're not going to get anywhere like that.
All right. We have to take a break, Professor. We're going to continue this conversation on the other side.
Yes, ma'am.
But we got to pay some bills. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's get our sponsors their just dues.
Yes, ma'am.
And then on the other side of the break, we're going to continue this conversation with Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on this Masterclass Monday on the Constitution. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after
Your
this.
body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Youngevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here with Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. Also coming to you live on YouTube. And you can call in at 3260271, 3260271, 3260272. 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for calls and messages is 801-0271, 801-0271. And you can catch us on Cable Bahamas Channel 974, as well as by downloading the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and checking us out there. Last but by no means least, you can also tune in via radio, whether you're here in New Providence or Grand Bahama or throughout the family of islands. Welcome to you all, and a special welcome to all of you who are tuned in from outside the Bahamas. I really do appreciate you being here. Do we have a caller? No. Okay, so let me read a couple of your comments. Bertha says, let's bring this up on the screen. Hold on a minute. Bertha says, I thought that's what the constituency money was for, to take care of that particular area. I'm not sure which area she was talking about. I don't know
what she's referring to. Maybe she needs to clarify that.
She says, Bahamians don't like to read. They listen to gossip and run with it, not knowing whether it's true or false. Jimmy says, Michelle and Professor Thompson, this is an invaluable service being provided by you both. The Constitution of the Bahamas, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We now have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS. Caller.
Hello.
Hi, you on the air.
Hey, what's up, Michelle?
Everything cool?
Great. Professor, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Great, man. Blackmail, yeah. Listen, Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Professor's right on target. I want to address something that JT just called in about the Article 6.
Mm-hmm.
It's a coincidence that after 50 years, the Privy Council addressed Article 6, that the government was getting it wrong for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
And right after they left the gate, even at that ruling, they messed that up again.
Who messed it up again?
The government, the Minister of Immigration. You have Article 6 in front of you.
I just read it a couple of minutes ago.
I know. I just did doing it for a reason. Can you pull it up kindly for me, please?
When you say pull it up, what do you mean?
Well, read it then.
Again?
Yeah, man. Yeah, Michelle.
Get to the point, man. I just read that a minute ago. Just make the point you're trying to make.
Michelle, I want you to read it. If you want me to call back or call another time?
No, I just read it a couple of minutes ago.
I want you to read it, please, Michelle, please. This is a master class. I want you to read it, please. Appreciate it, man. You're an excellent host. We love you.
I got to scroll to look for that. Make the point you're trying to make.
Okay. The reason or the point I'm trying to make is when you read it in sequence, I wanted to show you exactly what's happening. The article speaks to a child that is born after 1973 of either of his parents who is a Bahamian.
Mm-hmm.
But the point that the article makes is that when the child was born, his father had to be Bahamian at the time of his birth.
That's correct.
The point I am making, the two children that the Minister of Immigration bestowed citizenship upon,
mm-hmm.
their father was not Bahamian at the time of their birth.
Right.
Their father was a Haitian.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So if you take the Constitution for what it says, he could not bestow citizenship upon an 8 and 11-year-old.
That's correct.
Because at the time of their birth, their father was not a Bahamian. And he still wasn't a Bahamian up to his death.
That's correct.
You with me, Michelle?
Well, I think I think the minister did make good on his promise to make the dead gentleman a citizen.
Well, he was not. No, the minister didn't make him no citizen. The Constitution didn't make Mr. Frank Rancine a citizen. Mr. Rancine didn't qualify for citizenship under Article 7 of the Constitution.
Agreed.
Okay, so what other document did the minister use?
Probably the Nationality Act.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's the point I'm making. That's null and void.
Right.
This is why I wanted you to read Article 6. Now, with that point, he couldn't make Rancine a citizen because Rancine couldn't qualify under the 3 limbs. First of all, Rancine was not born in the Bahamas the 10th of July, after the 10th of July, 1973.
Right.
He was born in Haiti in 1968, and he was 55 years. So he didn't qualify there.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Rancine did not renounce between his 18 and 19th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
He was still in Haiti as a child.
Right.
So he didn't qualify there. And finally, Mr. Frank Rancine cannot renounce.
That's correct.
So how did citizenship got bestowed upon Frank Rancine?
Well, that's the question we've been asking on this show.
Okay, and then with that, you eliminate his wife and his children.
Exactly.
Because citizenship was bestowed upon them through him.
Mm-hmm.
Let him bring the article under which he did it. That's all we're asking him to
Yeah,
do.
we have asked for that repeatedly on this show.
Yes, and I mean, that's the sticking point. Everything else is a red herring. They're mixing the relevant with the irrelevant. Let's deal with the issues, and that's the problem with this country. They ignore the laws, and when you speak about it like a professor, they want to get angry with him to say he's talking nonsense. Come to the table. Let's challenge the Constitution versus the Nationality Act or that permanent residency document. You know what's also fraudulent in closing, Michelle?
Mm.
You cannot graduate or move someone from permanent residency into citizenship in the Bahamas. That's not a law.
That's correct.
Permanent residency, according to Article 54, if you want to make a person a citizen from permanent residency, that's an altered law. So you would have to go back to Article 3, which deals with residency, insert that in through a referendum, and then a person could become a citizen through permanent residency. You can't be here 10 years as a permanent resident, then be a citizen. That's not constitutional.
Right.
We do a lot of nonsense in this country, you know.
Well, they're allowing them to get away with it. That's why they're doing it.
Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
You have another question for me? Oh, no.
No, we're good.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, Professor.
So,
yeah, okay, thank you.
Based on what he just said, I do recall when this whole thing was exposed with regard to the recording from within the church when Bell was caught on tape, saying he was bestowing citizenship on those people. Mm-hmm. When he tried to excuse away his behavior to the media after it became public, he referenced, the Privy Council just dealt with this.
And he referenced Article 6.
Yeah, and I was like,
dead wrong.
Dude, why are you trying to confuse people? Because
you said that.
Article 6 ain't got nothing to do with this case. Nothing.
Right. Nothing
Smoke and mirrors. So, once again, nobody else will call me back and ask me to read this again today, please. Stop telling me you ain't paying attention in class. Article 6 says, every person born in the Bahamas after 9th July 1973 shall become a citizen of the Bahamas at the date of his birth, if at that date either of his parents is a citizen of the Bahamas. That is Article 6.
That's a key point right there. If at the date of the birth of the child, either of the parent, that refers to the mother or the father, is a citizen at that particular point in time of the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
Clear as crystal. Now, as clear as that is, the government messed up on that for 50 years. I won't even talk about the more complicated articles in the Constitution.
You know something, Professor? I want to challenge you on something.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think the government messed up. I think the government knows just what they're doing.
Okay, fine. But see,
when they intentionally...
Well, if you've been doing something for more than half a century with all those trained lawyers...
There you go.
They had. So obviously the Bahamian people need to wake up and realize that something is amiss.
Exactly.
Something is seriously amiss.
I dare say
by
that
those who were given the authority to run this country.
all of intelligent lawyers and things who pass through the system. You can't tell me one of them ain't figure that out before Wayne Monroe.
Well, the point is that all you have to do is look at the hardcore evidence, the information coming out of the Attorney General's office. And they have all kinds of big-time people in their cities, QC and whatever else they have. I'm not questioning their qualifications. I'm not interested in that.
Mm-hmm.
What I am questioning is it according to law? Is it according to constitutional law? That's the only question I want answered from Keith Bell. You tell us what article in the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Bahamas you gave these Haitian people citizenship. What article says that they can get citizenship? He quoted Article 6. He was dead wrong.
Yeah, but he knew. My point is, he knew he was wrong when he quoted that.
So why he quote that crap?
Because he could swing people who ain't gonna take the time
I see.
to go and read it and see what it says.
That's why the Bahamian people need to stop allowing the government of the Bahamas and representatives in that House and in the Senate from misleading them. You can't take nothing. See, I don't believe nothing what they say. I always tell my sources, I want to see the hardcore evidence. They said that, let me get the evidence, and I'm going to read it and study it, and I go from there. That's why I like to get accurate and precise information. I heard him say that. So now what are you going to say, suppose to speak to people on Wednesday? What is he coming up with on Wednesday?
Well, you know, people ain't wait till Wednesday. I just this letter floating around now.
The point,
and this is a very damaging, this is a very damning letter. This letter floating around.
Exactly. So I'm saying to you that the minister is wrong because he is not constitutionally sound. The government is wrong because the government is not constitutionally sound. The prime minister is wrong because the prime minister is not constitutionally sound. And I challenge anyone, they think there's man, they think there's woman, come. You cannot show me from the Constitution where what they did is constitutionally sound. That's the challenge I put out there. I don't care all the other crappy things they say they were doing. I'm not interested in that. The Constitution is supreme, not the Prime Minister, not the Minister of Immigration. That's what people need to understand. And so he came up with that nonsense, and I heard it, and you heard it, and a lot of people heard it, hopefully. And that's why we have to wake up and realize we have been hoodwinked, we've been lied to, we've been deceived over 50 years. We just can't keep going on like this. Now that we're waking up, and of course, let me comment on this, what the JT had said about putting it in schools. You can wait for another 57 years for that. Bahamians, there are alternatives. See, I took an alternative too, but I didn't know at that time when I was going to study constitutional law that I would be doing what I'm doing today. Now I see there's a great need for it, and God has prepared me well for it. I got to help my people. I need 150,000 plus like me, so that we will have the kind of strength to remove any government that goes contrary to the Constitution of the Commonwealth. You got to take that seriously. There's no time to be playing anymore. Too many people have lived and died in this country. People who have sacrificed their lives for this country. And this is the kind of nonsense we allow to keep going on and not corrected. It is time that it be corrected now. My generation will correct it. I'm not talking about those coming after me. My generation has to correct it. But at least, let's say some of them, not all of them, just some of them. Because a lot of them don't know the Constitution anyhow. But I have accepted the fact that the Bahamian people don't know the Constitution. I'm not going to beat them over the head about that. I'm going to help them to understand it. I'm going to help them to apply it. I'm going to help them to live it and practice it. That's how we change the country. Article 52.1, let me say this. Parliament may pass laws for the peace, 1, order, 2, good government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That's the responsibility of Parliament. Now, if they pass any law, and they pass quite a few, that are contrary to Article 52.1. It says, for the peace, order, good government of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. They had one act there for them strangers coming and said they got $250,000. After 14 days, they could pick whoever they want because immigration didn't have the time to get to them. You any crap like that? These are the crappy things that they pass. And what have we done about it? When Parliament has a responsibility to go according to the Constitution, they have not done it. And that's what I want the Bahamian people to understand. The government of the Bahamas has not been responsible in its duties, what it ought to be doing from the Constitution. And there are many discrepancies in our system that are not constitutionally sound. That's what we need to look at. We got to tell them these things got to be corrected. Now, there's someone was saying about getting a different constitution. Let me say this to the Bahamian people. Bahamian people, you don't know how valuable the Constitution is, what we have, because you're talking nonsense. Whoever is putting that funny idea in your head, tell them go to hell. You see what's happened in Sudan today? You see what happened in many of those African countries? When they lose stability, see, we had it from 1729, September of 1729, almost 300 years of stable, peaceful, democratic system in our country. It ain't perfect. But ain't no other country in this part of the hemisphere have that. Not a living one. Not even the United States have it. We have changed from one administration to the next. I heard one church minister talk about it. And I asked my sister the other day, I said, was he a part of majority rule? He was not. His church was not. But yet he's saying how this is the most peaceful place on the earth. How did that come about? But there are a lot of people who are cashing in on what the founding fathers and others who have sacrificed. Because see, my mom and pa were there. I can tell you that right off the top. My grandparents were there. I was there too. I know what went down. We know who the players were. And the Bahamian people need to understand, while it is beneficial for the country, fine. We cannot afford to lose what we have. You cannot afford others to get you in a tizzy to try to break up the place, and you have nothing. What you can do then? Yes, the government has done a lot of crap, but we could deal with them. We got enough power in that document. Run them straight over. But we haven't used it. What's wrong with us, Bahamians? How we get all mixed up like this? Because I don't know who the fellow was, but he had all this energy about wanting to do something. But I'm trying to get him to see, man, let's take that energy and be productive with it. It's no point getting angry and puffed up and, boy, I don't like this. I want to break up this place. No, that's not the way to go.
Counterproductive.
We could do better than that. Because Sudan is now catching hell. Thousands are now already dead. Could we afford that in this country?
It doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense at all.
Because when you done finish and everything done calm down.
Then what?
Then you
What
gotta,
happens
and
then?
then you got to go rebuild what you break down.
But in a lot of cases, they can't even rebuild.
My God.
They suffer for years.
We got to take a break.
Yeah.
Wow. On the other side of the break, we're going to continue the conversation with Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on this masterclass Monday on the Constitution. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. Stay with us.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after
At
this.
Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all. Schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy, with Mailboat's U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. with family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and onboard lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the Mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
And welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. If you haven't already done so, what are you waiting for? Like and share the show on Facebook, where we're streaming live to the Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. We're also streaming live to our YouTube channels. And speaking of channel, you can also find us on Cable Bahamas channel 974, as well as on your FM dial here in New Providence. 99.5 FM is the place on the dial to find us. Call in 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, WhatsApp line for messages and calls. 801-0271, 801-0271. Download the to your smart device, the Global 99.5 FM app. Check us out there, or you can check us out by way of radio. Welcome to you all. Okay, let me read a couple of comments. Is that a caller? No. Let me read a couple of comments. These comments that I'm about to read are coming from our WhatsApp line. It says, yes, Professor, you're quite right. The Bahamian people can be whomever they want to be. The Bahamian people can be whomever they want to be, belong to any affiliation or political, party they want to belong to, but they must come together on this issue, or no Bahamian benefits, regardless to what political party you may say you represent. Example, who do citizens run to when they have health issues? Not a political party, but to the very citizens of the Bahamas. If the country is run according to the Constitution, these and many issues can be addressed.
I think the call is right. The text is right on target. And I'm happy, Texter, for that, of what you sent. It shows that you listen well.
Mm-hmm.
And I commend you for that. And that's the kind of information we need to get into the hearts and minds of see, if I get 150,000 like that one, I'll be well on my way.
Mm-hmm.
That would be wonderful. I can wait for the 150,000.
All right. Another message coming in by way of WhatsApp says, good afternoon, Ms. Malcolm. If you allow local government in Nassau, you'll have another House of Assembly, but only on the local government level. They will still be divided by politics. The Bahamian people wake up, but they don't have the interest of getting out of bed because of political separation.
Let me can I comment on that?
Please.
Oh, okay. See, Bahamians, you got to stop thinking negatively. I tell you before, you just go to BTC every Monday. You don't say you're the members in Barnabas Church. You don't do that. There's the Constitution allows for people to have their political organizations, trade unions, other organizations. That's in the Constitution. We cannot negate that. But if we keep knocking our people and not educating them properly to see that there's a difference. Yes, you could go to St. Barnabas Church, but you also work the BTC. You could be a part of the PTA, but that has nothing to do with your job when you go to BTC. Same thing applies in the constituency. You are a constituent in that particular constituency, but all these constituency problems knocking all of you all in here. So what are you going to do about it? You're going to say, I'm this, I'm that, and all of us catching hell with crime and all these other funny things happening? Come on, Bahamians, you got to wake up.
Let me read this message.
Yeah.
Talk about negative approach. This person says, I always tune into your Monday shows, and I'm finding it hilarious that you all still believe the Bahamian people are waking up. When they wake up and you give them a copy of the Constitution, they can't read it because of the failure of the school system. For those that can read, they are stuck in the plantation system of low-wage employment created by the deliberate disregard for the immigration system, but as it relates to legals and illegals. The foreign labor component is what is being used to drive the country in the try. Let me start again. The foreign labor component is what is being used to drive the country to its third world status. The concept of imported tribal politics, indoctrinated and now ingrained in our society, is now the strongest block to development. Keep reading the Constitution to them. When you reach the end, go back and start again. Add a little about foreigners taking over because the locals need someone to blame for their condition because they refuse to believe that their tribal leaders would do what is happening to them. They will never admit that just as fast as the politicians solve the problems of protection of turtles and sharks, they can easily fix the constitutional problems of the Bahamas. The Constitution was given to us. The Bahamian people need to create their own that would satisfy their needs. Until then, enjoy the ride down the slide of mediocrity. Signed Rabbi Common Sense.
Yeah, but the text is way off in too many areas. You know, it's sad that we have people who think like that, but that's their view. I'm not going to knock them for their point of view. But I am here for the express purpose of helping the Bahamian people to do better. The Constitution says Parliament may pass laws for the peace, 1, order, 2, good government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That means every single law that was passed in that house from 1729 right on up to now ought to be constitutionally sound. In other words, the laws must benefit the masses. The laws must benefit the Bahamian people. Peace, order, good government. That means if Parliament passes any law that doesn't have those 3 ingredients in it, they're unconstitutional. It's not sound. So now we could start checking every piece of legislation from 1729 right on up to now and see whether it fits in with Article 52.1. Because they pass one and tell the fellas after 14 days, if you don't hear nothing from immigration, you could bring in your people. It is foolishness. But see, these are the kind of things what we allow to happen because we are not constitutionally sound. My job is to help people to be constitutionally sound. We are not going to change anything if we're not.
Let me read another message from our WhatsApp line. It says, is it constitutionally correct to have Creole taught in schools mandatorily, correct, or just common sense to incorporate it, since that it is officially our second language? Or is it a future show to discuss the above mentioned?
But I'll just comment on it briefly. See, we need to...
Oh, Lord, what is this today?
But you will have people say all sorts of things like that, and that's understandable. We need to entrench in our Constitution what the official language of the Bahamas is.
I thought it's not in our Constitution.
No, it's not.
Okay.
We need to entrench it in there. See, there are things we need to put in there now. The official language of the Commonwealth of Bahamas is the English language. We need to put that in the Constitution. We need to put local government in the Constitution, a local government system that is conducive to the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I've been hearing people talk about local government, but they're copying after them other people out there. That's not going to suit the Bahamas. We have to look at our own peculiar situations and craft up a local government system that benefits us, not from the people in France, not the people from other countries. That is no value to us. It ain't no value to people in Portman Castle where I live. You can tell me what they're doing in France, what they do in this place, what they do in that place. No, we need one that benefits us. That is what is important. And we can go from there.
All right. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Morning, Miss Malcolm. Morning, Professor Thompson.
Yes. Good morning. Or good afternoon.
Okay. Professor.
Yes, sir.
Please, I'm trying to understand your theory. Now, if everybody in the Bahamas learn the Constitution, got it down pat. What you suppose gonna happen then? Because I hear you keep on preaching, but us learning the Constitution when the government is in itself not going by the Constitution. So when we learn the Constitution, what we do then? Riot? Because we ain't gonna change nothing. You keep on brokering like it's our fault. I gone. Canada, free board. Yo.
Let me just, if I may,
Please.
answer the caller. I can understand his frustration. Getting frustrated and talking crap doesn't make any sense. All right? That's what he did just now on air. All I'm saying is I can appreciate the Bahamian people being disturbed. I waited for 50 years for the Bahamian people to wake up to the fact that the Constitution is important. They have just now woken up. They're still sleepy. They're still drowsy. But you got to help them. You don't beat them over the head and talk about rioting and all that sort of thing. We don't need that in the Bahamas. The Bahamas has had stability from 1729, September of 1729, right on up to now. Peaceful transition from one administration to the next. We want to keep it that way. We're the only country, perhaps, in the Western Hemisphere that has that. We may be the only country in the world that has it. Are we prepared to show that to the world? We want to show the world something. That's a positive thing to tell all those nations out there who are doing all kind of funny things, can't get their nation straight. Listen, we have an example for you to follow. And Bahamians don't realize how valuable that is. God has blessed us with that. We need to take that and use it and go all over the world, showing the world how to do it. Because we have done it from 1729 right on up to now. The last election we had was the most peaceful one. The most peaceful one. In spite of, who is there now. But it had nothing to do with those particular personalities. It had to do with God. God's divine intervention. The most peaceful general election. The last one, 2021. So we got to work with that. You don't spoil that peaceful transition for rioting. Come on, man. When people start thinking like that, the negative thinking, we got to have positive thinking. We have enough power in the Constitution to bring the, and he asked what could be done. And when everybody know the Constitution, you won't have this crap what's going on now, I'll tell you that much. You won't have a government that is going to be doing foolishness and nonsense. You will have a national government that can solve national problems. You're going to have representatives in the House of Assembly that will deal with constituency problems. And of course, if you want local government, you could add that too. But I'm saying that the system we have now, the way it's done, the way it's run, you do not have the quality of the people to do your national affairs to your advantage. It has been a terrible disadvantage for 50 years. And the Constitution says Parliament may pass laws for the peace, order, good government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Has that happened? It hasn't happened. Now, there have been some good points along the way. That's not good enough. We're supposed to be far more advanced than we are now. So it's important that the people know the Constitution. I'm going to make sure that they know it. And then make the necessary changes as essential. I'm going to give my number out at the end of the show.
So we have another texter from WhatsApp that says, I agree with the caller. What do we do now that we are informed? I think the professor has been answering that all along.
Oh, yes. And let me answer it again. The caller has asked the question. And let me put my number out there now then, since you all don't know what to do. 465-5786. 465. Don't call me while I'm on the show. 465-5786. If you do not know how to organize yourself, I got 50 years experience in this. Okay? I know what the Constitution says. I know how to do it. I don't have to get personal with you or anybody else because I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in making sure that you are organized constitutionally. There is work to be done now that you're waking up. You can't stay drowsy. You got to get alert now because there's a lot of work to be done. But don't start blaming this one and blaming the next one. The government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas has been the main culprit for the entire 50 years. That's a hardcore fact. You have to face it. Article 6 of your Constitution proves it. Article 7 of your Constitution proves it. And I could quote some more articles. They have not operated this country according to the Constitution in the best interest of the Bahamian people.
Okay, I want people getting a lot under the collar. Oh, we have a call on. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Mr. Amazon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sidney. My God, Walter Thompson.
Hey, what's happening, man?
Everything good.
Yeah.
Mr. Thompson. Like the means you are suggesting that, like, because the people continue on, even though we had the most peaceful election, the last election.
That's correct.
Like, okay, but you never put in the mere fact that our voters register is so contaminated by persons who are on that register by questionable means, and some outright, like we had a caller earlier was suggesting like most of the persons who get registered in the Bahamas ought to have a Bahamian passport from Espanol or West, he say, and they don't qualify from 2012, but they are on that voters register, and they have a right to vote on the register. So I mean, and basically, we don't know how much tens of thousands of persons of that ilk is on the voters register. And I mean, how constitutional is it for us knowing that for years, even the Jamaican have a better status to the register because they're from the British Commonwealth of Islands. But for years, I mean, like, we go through the same process every time. And the politicians, every election, they go into these places and give these persons passports to be ushering them in to say, as victor, to go in the House of Assembly. And we are on the same road. You're talking about the Constitution, and we ain't talking about how constitutional it is, like, for those persons to be on the voters register, election after election, no matter how they say they're cleaning up that register, it's filthy dirty. How constitutional it is for the government to continue to allow that to happen, knowing that persons are on that register by questionable means.
Caller, I appreciate your concerns, but if we keep looking at problems and not looking for solutions, we're going to keep losing. My job on the radio today is to help the Bahamian people. See, the only thing you have that is rock solid is your Constitution.
And I'm asking you, how constitutional is it? Does the Constitution give way for that?
No.
I mean.
No, it doesn't. I can tell you that right off the top.
So why is it that we go into from election to election, like we are basically oblivious or fools to be voting with such a contaminated voters register, and no political party giving no effort to try to clean it up.
Caller, let me tell you this. You know who's going to clean it up?
Who?
People who are constitutionally educated from the supreme law of the land. That is the challenge we have today. I understand your concerns. I hear this all the time from people. All we're doing is talking about problems. We're not working to find solutions. Didn't I say earlier in the show?
Yep.
What do people need to do?
So
maybe I need to repeat it again.
And
I'm saying to you, give me a point, please, because I understand where you're coming from. I don't want to keep going over that because we are not making any progress if we don't understand the only way legally we can solve our constitutional issues is through the Constitution. That's the supreme law of the land.
Yeah, but through the Constitution, but who you going to, like to say, constitutionally, if you're not the Bahamas, you got to go, like to say, England or someplace, say.
Hello?
Why you got to go to England?
Listening.
Why you got to go to England?
Caller, you're not listening.
Because you think you're going to get action on the ground here, but the same set of people, no matter how the coin flip, it's PLP or FNM and the CNC instead of people all. You couldn't get nothing
But
done.
who is allowing that? That's the point that the professor has been making since day one.
Yeah, but I mean, like, who is allowing it?
Yeah.
From the time, no, listen here, from the time when any political organization getting to be administrators of governance in this country, it's between two entities, okay? I mean, nothing ever changed between the two of them, no matter how we cry.
Nothing changes because of the attitude that nothing changes.
No, but
what? Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You say, oh, we have to go to London. We just did that. We just went to the Privy Council, and the Privy Council sent us right back and say, you have a constitution, follow that. So what we going to them for to tell us, follow the law we already have?
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, so I mean, like, right now, at least I understand that there's another group who are basically putting the government in court, and they're like collecting money so that they can get the lawyers from foreign, and one lawyer or two lawyers from here to take on the government, right? Because what I'm saying is, like, we know what's going on, like, to say, with that the voters register, but ain't nothing getting done for the mere fact that ain't nobody put no case, like, so that could change, like, to say, around a day's time, not but no 1 year before election or a couple months before election, you know, because that's what they want. They want a contaminated register so that they can have their people and say, always
Who is allowing it? Who's allowing it?
No, but no one ever challenged the government, because the government, we talk about it and they never change it because it's what they want.
So who is allowing that to happen?
I guess the person who vote for them, mate.
Okay then.
But I didn't vote.
So why are you on this radio making noise? If you ain't
because
willing to
be
but if you aren't willing to use the very tool that you have to fix the problem, why are you on here making noise about the problem?
Well, like, I mean, the real master, the guru of the Constitution is sitting inside the studio, and it ain't me. Because Mr. Thompson knows what he got to do. He's the leader.
So he can do it by himself then?
No, we ain't got to do it by himself, but you know what? It's like a leader. He put it out there, okay, we need to challenge the government. The government, we can't allow it no longer for our voters register to be so contaminated. Someone got to bring the case. Mr. Thompson is the man, you know, the Constitution. He has following people who will back him. Or like the other group, they're trying to collect $50 like a person or whatever, you know, to basically put the government in court, because the government ain't gonna move on nothing to FNM or the PLP because they run in the country.
And
you can't go to them and cry.
Is why,
every time you go to cry, they can beat you down.
And this is why 50 years later, we still in this position.
That's correct.
Because you have people out there who number one don't want to take the responsibility to, number one, educate themselves about what we're talking about here every Monday.
Yes.
They don't want that responsibility.
Be talking. Mr. Thompson already have the information and things. Mr. Thompson is a leader. All right? He like Jesus walking around.
So what is your point? You expect Mr. Thompson to stand alone?
The point is, Mr. Thompson be on the radio every Monday. I respect that, right? But you know what? Mr. Thompson needs to really challenge the government with that same dirty voters register. Put a case and then put the government in court to clean that up, because that's our problem right there. We talking about with this article, the next article thing, but the real poison has been in that case, like the passport and the voters register. That's the real poison, because all the change we're looking for we'll never get, because if it's so contaminated, it's so many people who want that who even belong here, and it's intentional. And Mr. Thompson,
so the only person who could do that is Mr. Thompson.
Mr. Thompson is the guru, not you. You ain't coming on your show.
So the only person who could do that is Mr. Thompson.
Mr. Thompson is the man.
So the only person who could do that is Mr. Thompson.
The Einstein. That white hair on top of your head. That's the one.
Paula, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. Have a good day. And this is why 50 years later we're still
at the same. We're right at the same where we are, and that is the problem.
How you could say to me, "I didn't vote." So what you calling making noise for?
What are you calling for?
If you don't want to use the very tool that you have been given to make the change, you say you want to see. What you calling it for?
It makes no sense. See,
it makes no sense.
That's what I keep saying to the people. That's why I tell them, if you're not sure how to organize yourself. See, I know organization is a big problem in this country. People get all confuddled up. They don't know how to separate personal matters from constituency matters, from national issues. They don't know how to do that. And that's bad. They get everything all mixed up like Count salad. That doesn't make any sense. Now, unfortunately, the caller has his view, and so I think a call is coming in.
This can't be the last call because we only got 4 minutes left in the show. How many breaks have we taken? 3? Okay. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yes, good morning, Ms. Malcolm. Good morning to Mr. Professor.
Hey.
Yeah,
good afternoon. Yeah, I sent some text on Facebook. I don't know, you didn't read, but
I didn't even get to put them up.
Yeah,
I was just about
I didn't want to call, but to the caller, I like what he's saying about the registry, the parliamentary registry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Constitution, I'm laying all of this narratives between Mr. Bell and Mr. Pintard and what's going on, the theatrics in the square, right? And the counter protests. The counter protests are treasonous, political, mindless, bookless goons, right? They're really a part of the problem, along with some of the callers. I'm hearing a bunch of pathetic foolishness, right? So, what happened to power to the people? They're calling and putting this burden on the professor. The professor only can send a message. You see, like I told the fools on the plantation a long time ago, I'm sorry to say fools, but as ex-slaves, they sound pathetic asking the professor what to do. They're a big grown woman and man. You should know what to do, brother. Let's get to unity. That sounds so pathetic for me. Unity is strength. But the only thing we get polarized for is political goonery and buffoonery. That's the only thing for my was for a little child. That's all I could see people riding up and down shouting on. We would never get together for nothing of national concern. And I told the fools on the plantation, not disrespect the professor, because I understand the Constitution. I have a layman's quiche Ellis. But the Constitution only means something if you stand up for it. They will trample over you. So what do they blame the professor? Was only one man. He older than me and you. You got more energy than him.
Caller before him, well, he had his view, and that's fine. But I'm going to put my number out there, 465-5786. 465-5786. Bahamians, let me tell you as quickly as I can, because we have little time. The point is, there is something you can do constitutionally. You don't have to break up the place. Don't mind how these fellas who are running things now carrying on. This could be a thing of the past if we act responsibly, if we act constitutionally. You've got to utilize the knowledge that you're given. You have to understand, and I think one of the biggest problems is organization. People are not organized in these constituencies.
Clearly, they're not interested in being organized. They're just interested in
if they want to continue in the foolishness, well, then we're not going to make no headway.
People, there's a saying out there.
It's sad.
That you should let us, I paraphrase and then I got to go, it's 4 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am.
You should let us guess if you're stupid. Don't open your mouth and confirm it for everybody. Right? Let us walk away believing you got some sense by keeping your mouth closed.
That's true.
But we have too many people in this country who wear their ignorance with pride.
That's sad.
They're proud of their ignorance. I'm wondering why we're in the position we're in right now. Anyhow, it's 4 o'clock. Let me stop. Gotta go. Gotta get out of here. Professor, thank you as always for being here on this Monday for another master class. God willing, we'll both be back next week.
How we're going to need these classes.
Man, look here. But these people need to stop being so ignorant and stop being so willing to confirm it.
Yeah.
Keep your mouth shut and then we only could guess you're stupid. Don't open your mouth.
See, if they would listen.
And let everybody know you're
they
stupid.
will learn something. And then they can organize.
No, it's all about having my voice heard. I ain't got to make sense. I just got to be loud.
That ain't going to help it.
Anyway, got to go. Thank you, everybody. And if I mash your con today, sorry, but not sorry. It is what it is. Got to go. It's after 4 o'clock. Tomorrow, tune in for another thought-provoking show where we help you to think beyond the obvious. Until then, I'm Michelle Malcolm. Have a good day, everybody.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this
Your number one source for R&B